Hey everyone, my name is Marta aka Obscure Beauty and welcome to a new video. I've discussed about finding your art style in the past, but the truth is, I always felt and feel a little bit below any artist who actually has found their own voice. You keep hearing amazing professional artists advised to be consistent on social media in terms of style and niche. And we all know that really, having a unique style is one of the most important features to get properly noticed. Like, maybe not the most important, but it's important, and we know that. Anyways, the fact is that if you look at my Instagram, and I'm gonna share with you in a moment, see, it's a rightful mess. I go from semi-realistic to sketchy to cartoonish to chibi with the flick of a finger. Or is it? The truth is, until now I seriously had no idea of what I really wanted to do. Except that I want to make money with my art. Clearly, that's my main goal here. And I even have a style that I love seeing be done. But I'm very self-conscious about it when I do it myself. I love that semi-realistic style illustrations, and I know that there's still a lot of styles within that, which in itself is yet another world, but I get quite a few issues with it. Firstly, I really don't feel confident about it. It seems like every time I get on with a new painting, I get issues that I thought I had dealt with, or I get new issues that I don't even know why. That's the style I started using when I started painting in 2020. At the time, I was actually super quick. I could do a full character in about 8 hours and oh man, I was so proud of that. Of course, when I actually started selling commissions on that style, problems started to arise. Those 8 hours turned to 12, then 18. I was underselling myself anyways, but that silly increase only made it like 1,000 times worse. I mean, for real, what's this on about? And to be honest, I have no clue yet. At this point, I'm mostly giving up finding it out. I've tried painting on just a few layers, like a proper painting. You don't see me, but I'm actually doing those quotation marks with my fingers, okay? And the first ones came out okay until I started dealing with problems. Problems I actually deal with quite frequently, to be honest, like colors. You know, the issue with commissions is that you're creating something from thin air. So there's a lot of chances you'll get to one point and you'll need to just change the color of the belt or slightly change the shape of the corset or something. And when you just have 2 or 3 layers, man, that is hard work. Unless you're pretty good at the lasso tool, and I can tell you right now that I'm certainly not. So then came the methods I already explained on the previous videos, and of course they also had to come with issues attached. With one of them I just can't seem to get things right for some reason, and with the other one it just takes a long time. Because even after I shade and do the flats like in this painting, I still end up having to sort of repaint everything in the end to give it a full-fleshed semi-realistic look instead of just kind of weird looking dolls. This was actually the reason I've attempted to use other styles. The sketchy style started because I was so tired of losing so much time over a full painting, and I wanted to be able to quickly draw stuff that looked cool, gave people what they wanted for a cheaper price. It was supposed to be a win-win, but then I got kinda tired. It didn't feel like I was going on the right way about it. Then came the cartoony style. The same focus on line art, but also using proper colors. That had to be cool, right? Kinda. I've gone about it several times in many ways. Turns out you can go cartoony pretty much any way you want. You can just use flats, although I always feel they look horrible with my line art style. You can use just gradients or soft brushes, you can use hard shadows or even a mix of all those methods. The weird fact is that the consistent thing people seem to like in my art is actually the line art. I don't even feel they're particularly special. In fact, I don't really have a particular love towards them. But you know how our social media is, right? I mean, you try not to, but eventually a little seed comes to your head, and the next moment you know, you're doubting your whole life, or in my case, 2 years of painting. That said, I'm starting to feel like there's an art style that I'm sort of achieving without growing white hairs, getting old, that people also kind of seem to like. I say it seems because, well, it's social media, baby, and in this case Instagram, so hardly anyone gets to see your art anyways. So maybe, just maybe, I was considering trying to make it my main art style for a while until I find something else, which, can still happen, by the way. We all change, and not wanting to be any different than any one of you, but I feel like the only consistent thing about me is my inconsistency in life. So, here's what I like about this style and why I think it suits me. Someone told me in 2020 something about my art style being similar to Much's, Art Nouveau. And I'm really ignorant. I had absolutely no clue what he or she was on about and what that was. But when I checked some of his artwork, man, his posters look pretty cool. They have this super intricate line art, but a fairly simple coloring, except in certain specific cases that I use dead straight like a surgeon with a scalpel. That, plus the awesome composition, but that's a matter for another day. And I feel that kind of suits me. People like my line art, so I can dedicate myself to it, although I fear I might just get frustrated with it at one point and just sort of throw the pen away in anger. But never mind. And then just add a bit of colors, bright colors, because me, I like colors, with focus on the faces because, well, that's basically what I like doing more anyways. I always prefer portraits to full paintings. So I'm thinking, I can try and fit my semi-cartoon style into those lines a bit more. Is it simple? No. And I've had some less happy results, in my opinion, although that fared better on Instagram than the pieces I like the most. But again, that's Instagram for you, right? Anyways, I am pretty excited with this, and I've shared this excitement pretty much everywhere except here. So now you can be excited with me as well, or not. I hope that you like this commission I painted. I really like the outcome, even though there's that little voice in my head trying to discredit it. Go away, you! And no, I don't actually hear voices. You know what I mean. Come on. I'll see you another week and see how I successfully avoided saying next week because, let's be honest, how often am I consistent here as well? But be aware that I do love all of you. Thank you for watching my videos. It makes me happy to know that I'm not just talking to myself. And if you've gotten to this point, hey, leave a message. I'd love to know you. Anyways, bye bye!